How's it going, everybody? It is an exciting time in Marvel Strike Force. The new Chaotic Storm Raids are coming to Marvel Strike Force, and they come with a whack load of quality of life improvements and some really cool bosses to sink our teeth into. So this video, we're going to be going over all of that, and let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into it. All right, Chaotic Storm and the new raid difficulty slider, the future of raids, if you will. Alliances have evolved since the early days of Marvel Strike Force, with many composed of players with a diverse range of total collection power. This evolution has allowed friends of varying TCPs to join forces in the same alliance, but it also means raids must adapt to become better accommodators for modern alliances. The future of raids is here, with two major updates arriving: the new Chaotic Storm raids and the individual raid difficulty selector, IRD for short. This is going to be a really cool system that's going to apply more to alliances that are not doing the giant raid that requires 25 people and all that participation. So if that is you, make sure you keep an ear out, because this is going to be really cool and really important. All right, the Chaotic Storm Raids. The Chaotic Storm Raids usher in a new era of raids for alliances and is a backdrop to one of the explosive final sections of the Age of X. This new raid will replace all green raids, okay? Ultimates, Doom, Incursion, Orcus, they're all gone. They're all sunset. Everyone is now going to be starting with Chaotic Storm Raids, so of course, they need to be available for all commanders. Alright, so becoming a home for commanders, level 20 plus to earn key resources. During the transition from green raids to Chaotic Storm Raids, any green raid that is currently underway at the time will be allowed to finish. You just won't be able to launch another one, is my understanding. Alliances have the freedom to tailor the raid to the alliance's goals and abilities in two ways. The first is a choice between separate raids. So, choice 1, the Chaotic Storm Raids. This raid is ideal for new and mid-level alliances, along with those composing of varying TCP levels and individual player goals. Players can adjust each raid node, so every single node, to the difficulty level of their choosing using the individual raid difficulty selector, which they're going to kind of detail below. But then there's sort of the very engaged, very competitive alliance raid mode. This raid is the choice for competitive, highly organized, and communicative alliances, or those with a roster of uniform TCP. So the reason is you're not going to be able to select different difficulties on this one, except for the boss nodes, which we're going to talk about. The rewards are greater, but alliances can only set a uniform difficulty for standard nodes. The new boss lanes. Yes, new bosses. The Marvel Strike Force is leaning heavily into bosses, and I gotta say, I'm here for it. Both the Chaotic Storm and the Chaotic Storm Omega will come with an optional boss lane for every member of your alliance. Boss nodes do not count towards your alliance's completion percentage, so if you find the boss is too tough or you prefer not to engage in a boss node, you can back out without penalty to your alliance and choose the main lane. So you can literally skip the node entirely. The boss node, to my understanding, is only going to be to give you great rewards from completing the node. You will not penalize your alliance's percentage completion, nor do I think you're going to penalize your alliance's seasonal leaderboard rankings. It's very, very important, especially when we're in the early life cycle of this raid tier and we don't yet have the raid teams that fill the need for all these sections. You can set your individual boss node difficulty using the individual raid difficulty selector as long as it's higher than the difficulty set by your alliance. So what does this mean? Even on the competitive raid, where it basically requires 24 people, everyone active, using all their attacks, if your alliance leader sets the difficulty to 3, you can still do difficulty 5 on the boss node, because the rewards are going to be so much greater, and maybe that's going to be a big TCP player in a smaller alliance, and that's how they can get lots of rewards, and then they don't feel like they need to leave their alliance to be in a competitive one. I really like this quality of life change. I think this is great. Let's continue reading on. Difficulties and requirements. The Chaotic Storm Raid has 5 difficulties in addition to the default. Here are the difficulty requirements. The default, no restrictions. This is going to be for brand new commanders, all right? If you're commander level 20, you've been playing the game for 1 day, you're jumping into this raid. And it's not going to have any restrictions. So whatever team you saddle up with to be your first raid team, you'll be able to use them on these nodes. And you're in luck because Scopely, Marvel Strike Force, they are giving away lots of raid teams in the early game. I think right now, they're giving away Orcus to returning players, which is an amazing team. And to other players, they give like Alpha Flight. And they kind of switch that up every patch. So if you're going to be starting Marvel Strike Force soon, you can expect they're going to be giving you the tools you need to jump into the default difficulty with ease. Difficulty 1, only node trait restrictions. That's going to be your bio, mystic, mutant, skill, and tech. Yes, 5 raid teams is what you need. Difficulty 2, green level 5 ISO along with the node trait restrictions. That's super easy to get. They rain green ISO on you. Blue level 3, this is also really easy to get. They rain that on you. And this is where I think like early game alliances stop. I think you guys are chilling on difficulty 3 because the second they say you need purple level 1 on 5 teams, we're not talking about a pretty big commitment, right? So difficulty 4 I think is where early, mid-game, maybe even late end-game alliances are going to hang their hat for a little bit. And then finally, difficulty 5, purple level 3 on all of your raid teams. So right now, if you're looking to prepare for this, you can absolutely go put purple level 3 on your Night Stalkers and your Orcus team. Those are 2 super safe options. I very, very much doubt they're going to be replaced on this raid tier. However, we know Spider Society is out. We know that the Vigilante team is coming. Yes, I can now pronounce Vigilante properly. All right, then we're going to have probably a replacement for the Mutant and Old Man Logan that could just be slated to be like, when you unlock Professor X, this is where he gets used, right? That could be a big use for him. And then finally, Hive Mind Skrull. A lot of people are thinking they're going to use Null with Skrull there. Null is not bio. Null is a Mystic character, so that is not going to be your cop-out for this. You can absolutely bring all those teams to purple level 3 if you want to get an early start in difficulty 5. I know I will be pushing my alliance to do that. Otherwise, you should probably wait, see the raids, see which lanes start when, and then just kind of build in that order. So maybe you don't have to build your Hive Mind team because they're a little bit older in the tooth right now, right? You don't build them at all. You wait till whatever the next bio team comes. You skip that, save on some resources, and your count's a little bit healthier for it. Just a little tip there from me. But here's the fun part. Agents of Chaos! Overcome unique foes. Lurking within the chaotic storm raids from difficulty 3 and above are powerful enemies with special abilities that'll test your squads. These enemies are different for each trait restriction, so review the below enemies for each. Please note that these effects will only apply to the first attempt at a node. So after the first attempt, if you lose, you come back in. It's kind of like an exhaust feature, I guess, which is pretty cool. Bio nodes, Shadow King Chaos. Shadow King Chaos in this mission will attack first, so that's his name in the file, the game file, is Shadow King Chaos. In this mission, he's going to attack first, so I guess he just starts with 100% speed bar. And he applies Psychic Scar to all player side characters. Psychic Scar reduces the active healing of this character by 50%. This character cannot fill speed bar for any characters. This does not apply to speed bar game through no means. So this is your bio boss node, guys. What do Hive Mind thrive off? Speed bar. Skrull thrives off speed bar, so I do not think the first hit with your Hive Mind Skrull team is going to work here. If we want to try and best this boss node now, before whatever the next bio team is going to be, you probably need to throw a burn attack at this first. All right, mutant nodes, Madeline Pryor. Yes! I love that they're going to do a Madeline Pryor node because she is such a cool character and she got a very short lifespan in war. Madeline Pryor Chaos in this mission will act first and apply Cerebral Wound to all player side characters. Cerebral Wound is going to reduce the active healing of this character by 50%, so no speed bar because they don't need to worry about that. But active healing by 50%, that's the mutant node. So that's Forge doing a lot less healing. That's Old Man Logan doing a lot less healing, but at least you still get the speed bar for Old Man Logan. There may still be a world where we can get away with extreme Old Man Logan for a little bit, and definitely I'll probably try and one-shot the boss, though. We'll figure it out. Unless there's a North Star, then I don't know if that's going to work. The Mystic nodes, Emma Frost Chaos. Cool. She's a good character. I guess they're going to use the base model here. Emma Frost Chaos in this mission will act first and apply Mind Fracture to all player side characters. Mind Fracture. Reduce the active healing of this character by 50%. Okay. Mystic nodes, you know, Night Stalkers. Yeah, they do a lot of healing. Same with Agatha on that team. But in this node, we could use Odin, we could use Null, we could use Mephisto. I think this Mystic boss node is probably going to be one of the easier ones to clear. The skill nodes. Jean Grey Chaos in this mission will act first and apply Psychic Backlash to all player side characters. Psychic Backlash. Whenever an ally assists Peter B. Parker, reduce the duration of all positive effects by 3 for this character and all their allies. Okay, well now we know why Spider Society is not going to be surviving this raid tier. Maybe they're going to kick butt on the nodes, but they're not going to be one-shot in this boss node because they are just going to be getting their safeguard, their speed up, all their buffs decayed. All of them by 3. Whoa, that's crazy. Unless you want to sub out Peter B. Parker, I guess. maybe we'll try that. We'll try that, throw in Black Knight. We'll see what happens. Crazier things can happen. Peter B. Parker is a big part of that team, but we'll see. And then finally, the tech nodes, Psylocke Chaos. So all of these telepathic characters, I really like that. Psylocke Chaos in this mission will act first and apply Mental Decay to all player characters. Mental Decay reduces the active healing on this character by 50%. Orcus, they definitely do a lot of healing, but they have a lot of sources of healing too. Between Scientist Supreme and Omega Sentinel, I think even with the minus 50%, you're probably going to be fine. And let's be real, the Orcus team kind of thrives off of just putting slow on you, getting speed up on themselves, and never looking back. So I think the tech nodes and the mystic nodes will probably be fine, like I kind of theorized, but this is great. All right, Chaotic Storm rewards. Chaotic Storm will have more rewards in the nodes themselves than the Alliance completion rewards. So ensure lower level commanders in your Alliance that may not have 24 members or who may just want to play at their own pace can enjoy the rewards. There you go. The nodes are going to give more rewards than Alliance completion. I kind of love that. And since everyone gets their own lane, that's great. This is for the raid that does not rely on 24 people. This does not apply to Chaotic Storm Omega, as the bulk of rewards will continue to be in the completion percentage for your Alliance. Rewards for Chaotic Storm include various tiers of gear orb fragments, raid credits, and gold. They don't shout out gear tier 20, but there is a gear tier 20 orb in the raid store. I assume that's going to be at the highest difficulty, and if you're not doing difficulty 3, say you're doing difficulties 3 to default, they're probably going to have given you commander appropriate level gear orbs to play around with. Cool, that's what I expected. All right, individual raid difficulty selector. We saw this in the strike spot. I really like this as a huge quality of life for most alliances in the game. We teased this feature back in our December preview blog, and here it is. The individual raid difficulty selector allows players to increase their individual difficulty and rewards on a node-by-node basis. So you can go up, and the next node you go down. You don't get stuck on any difficulty. This option is available in Chaotic Storm raids and boss nodes for Chaotic Storm Raid Omega. You'll see it rolled out for select future raids. Here's how it works. Choose your base difficulty. When launching a Chaotic Storm raid, Alliance leaders will choose a base difficulty that will apply to all nodes. Once the raid is launched, players cannot decrease their difficulty using the selector, only increase. Personalize your node. If your roster is ready for a difficulty higher than the base, you can select a higher difficulty from the selector dropdown. Selecting each difficulty will alter the enemy stats and the list of enemies before launching the node. Higher difficulties will earn greater rewards, so don't be afraid to test your roster. And there's a new reset feature as well, which I really like. If you launch a higher difficulty and find you're not quite ready for the challenge, you can use the reset button beside the difficulty selector, either after having been defeated during the raid or after backing out. Resetting the node will reset all enemy health and ability energy and allow you to return to the base difficulty. But please note, if you die, your characters need to be healed up. If you back out, your characters will still have the ability energy that they had when you back out. If you just quit the match, that's the way to do it. So if you're getting your butt kicked on the higher difficulty, back out. Don't retreat. Quit. Save your life, save your abilities, and then just do a lower difficulty by hitting the reset button. Join the Chaotic Storm with your Alliance. The Chaotic Storm raids begin March 27th at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Begin coordinating with your Alliance to choose the best raid for your Alliance and optimum difficulty level to maximize your rewards. We'll take a quick peek at this again. Once again, definitely if you're trying to go all the way to difficulty 5 or start getting ready for difficulty 5, only start equipping Purple ISO to your Night Stalkers and your Orcus team. Please believe that. And if you have Mephisto, don't equip it on Moonstone, or Moon Knight rather. Just go ahead and put it on Mephisto or Odin instead. The other 3, it's going to be tough. We got to see when the lanes appear in the raid to know which teams we should invest in first if we are in a hurry to do the higher difficulties. Alright, so just be careful with the Purple ISO. It is not unlimited resources, nor is gold or training materials to bring your teams up to whatever we're going to need for difficulty 5. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it found you well and it helped you out. If it did, make sure you leave a like on the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. But for now, stay happy, stay healthy, have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.